On June 15, 2015, as the clock struck midnight, the power grid for the entire city of Puri was deliberately severed. Inside the pitch-black Jagannath temple, a highly secretive ritual was underway. A select group of priests, blindfolded and wearing thick protective gloves, navigated the dark to transfer a mysterious, constantly vibrating object from deep inside an old wooden idol to a new one. This object is the Brahma Padarth, believed to be the literal, undying heart of the deity Krishna. Because it emits a strange energy that degrades wood over time, the temple is forced to carve entirely new idols to house it every 12 years. The Jagannath temple operates as a biological support system. It is a living ecosystem designed to sustain a god that breathes, ages, and physically requires a new body to survive. The sheer scale of the temple complex reflects its role as the massive home for this loving entity. Because the deity is treated as a mortal being, he requires daily nourishment. This necessitates the largest active kitchen on earth, where hundreds of cooks prepare food to feed the god and the hundreds of thousands of visitors. The cooking process defies logic. The top stacked pot cooks before those below it. This physical defiance extends site-wide. The temple flag flies against the wind, and the heavy chakra wheel always appears to face you, regardless of your position. Even the physical form of the god reflects a strange vulnerability, with the idols intentionally carved with incomplete, armless limbs. These physical impossibilities build an atmosphere of absolute reverence. The priests maintain rigid rules and rituals, specifically to protect a living god, who is viewed as physically vulnerable. Amidst this strict bureaucracy lived Mugu, an 8-year-old orphan who survived in the temple's corners on discarded food. While the priests performed grand, rigid rituals, Mugu spoke to the idol every day with the casual intimacy of a best friend. The temple's routine was interrupted when a destitute mother collapsed in the courtyard, sobbing that her child would die without money for an immediate surgery. The adults nearby offered prayers and told her to leave the matter to fate. Mugu, however, went directly to the sanctum to ask his friend for a solution. Mugu claimed a voice told him to take the deity's priceless pearl necklace to fund the child's operation. To Mugu, the deity was an active participant in human suffering. He viewed the temple's treasures not as things to be hoarded, but as tools his friend intended for use in saving a life. The following morning, the temple was in an uproar when the priests discovered the pearl necklace was missing. The security footage provided no answers. At the exact time of the disappearance, the cameras glitched into absolute static, recording no one entering or leaving the room. Mugu was quickly confronted. He freely admitted he took it, explicitly stating he was only doing what God commanded him to do. While the priests interrogated him, word arrived from the hospital. The sick child was safe. The operation had been funded by the anonymous sale of a pearl necklace. The temple committee focused entirely on the breach of rules. Ignoring the saved child, they cast a highly feverish Mugu out onto the cold stone steps, locking the doors and denying him shelter for the night. This obsession with religious bureaucracy led to a fatal moral failure. As the committee inside debated the theft of property, Mugu died alone outside on the steps. The next morning, a priest cleaning the floors discovered Mugu's discarded pouch near the inner sanctum. Inside was a scrap of paper with Mugu's crude handwriting, pleading that no one be punished if the necklace ever returned. The note contained a final message. Mugu claimed to have heard. His friend told him that the reward for doing the right thing isn't always getting to stay alive. At that moment, the original pearl necklace inexplicably appeared back on the idol's neck. Once again, the security cameras showed no movement in the room. The physical return of the pearls forced the temple authorities to recognize that Mugu's story was factually true. They had punished a child for carrying out the deity's own request. The missing necklace and the glitching cameras functioned as a test of the temple's priorities. The committee had failed that test. They prioritized the physical wealth of a wooden idol over the life of a compassionate human being. Mugu's immediate sacrifice stands as the temple's most significant event, outweighing the mechanical wonders of the kitchen or the return of the jewelry. The ultimate lesson of the Jagannath temple is that a living deity acts through the hands of those willing to make